Here he gets head-on crash with a car there. It's all over. That innocent person coming through. Now look at it. He's backing up. That's not a good sign. He's still trying to get away. Burning rubber there. The gun's drawn by the officer now, he's taken off. And here's another spike strip. He's over that one. He's jumping out. He's running.
You can see this is a stolen white van. Got involved in a high-speed chase with police through the streets. Nothing getting in his way. Eventually, though, as you can see, forced to run away on foot and caught by a couple of the police officers. Well, actually more than a couple, quite a few there, have got him, and he's now in custody.
Another breaking news story right now, and this is a big one this morning. Just into our CBS 2 newsroom, a major announcement this hour from utility giant Southern California Edison. SoCalEd has just revealed it is going to be closing the troubled San Onofre nuclear power plant here in Southern California. This is a bombshell announcement. The plant in northern San Diego County has been offline for months because of a mechanical fault with faulty tubing that led to trace amounts of radiation being leaked, but that just the latest in a number of environmental problems at San Onofre over the years along the coastline. Environmentalists have tried for decades to close San Onofre down, and this morning, word from the Associated Press that Southern California Edison says it will be closing the troubled San Onofre nuclear power plant for good. As we get more details, we'll bring them to you here on CBS 2.
Live, this is One for the Record. I'm Diana, and today is July 10th, 2013, and here are your news updates for today. Alrighty then, let's go into the breaking news first. Sorry I'm running a little late. Had to do a lot of gardening today. Almost all day. Let's see here. Roadways are closed in Whitfield County, Georgia, with up to 2 feet of water flowing over the roads. And that's coming out of breaking weather, so heads up. That was 1 hour ago. Yarnell Hill Fire in Arizona is 100% contained, coming out of AZ Central. Let's see what else we got. Update, Randy Travis out of surgery after suffering stroke, remains in critical condition, coming out of AP 12 minutes ago. Our prayers go up to him and his family. Let's see. River flooding continues for many rivers across southeast South Carolina and southeast Georgia, coming out of the NWS Charleston SC. That was 2 hours ago, heads up. Okay, that's what's going on. Your most recent breaking news. Heads up, I've been hearing weird jets that just go for, I just hear the sound for like a couple minutes and then it stops. So we might be going into strange sounds again going across central Florida. Space Coast. I don't know if anyone else is having any strange sounds. Alrighty then. Let's go into the watchers watching the world. First global map of vegetation from recently launched Proba 5. Tropical storm Chantal weakened as it started to impact Hispaniola. Also, natural gas condensate leaking in Gulf of Mexico as operators lose control over the well. Super Typhoon Solik entered Philippine Sea. Current track suggests Tapai will get a direct hit, so heads up. Huge iceberg breaks away from the Pine Island Glacier in the Antarctic. Heads up on that. I saw that movie too. That glacier movie, what was it, 2012 Ice Age or something? Alrighty then. Moving on. Then I'll do a consumer report. And then I have a lot attached, so please stay tuned. All kinds of interesting things. Alrighty. Let's see, an abductee from Puerto Rico, I believe. Talked about his experience and what they had to say about stuff. And this was, I think, back in the 80s. Today, Japan expert, new radioactive leaks from Fukushima reactor number 2 may be underway. Concerned about vertical streams. TEPCO, impossible to completely prevent it from spreading. Alrighty then. U.S. Canada. Let's see if there's anything in there. Nothing new in there, so let's get rid of that. The Extinction Protocol 2012 and beyond. Whoop. Alrighty then. Worst floods in 50 years lay waste in China's Bishan County. 30 believed buried alive. Cancer kills Fukushima manager who stayed at post to prevent a meltdown. Oh. My goodness, nothing else is new. Okay. Here's what I wanted to do. Saw one comment I want to comment on. One of my commentators. Heads up. Let's see here. Let me go into that. My goodness, let's switch. Oh, won't let me switch. Here we go. I'm telling you. It takes a while before you can get to your inbox. Well, it's Wednesday hump day. No. Yeah, it's Wednesday hump day. And we're going into the eve of Friday. By the time you get this, it's going to take a while. Because I attached a lot of things. That's sorry for why it's so late. Alright. Let's go on to one of my comments from a shout out to New Eyes 777. New Eyes 777. Now. Just a tip. Okay, it says, please do as I do every day prior to every meal. Pray before consuming any beverage or water. Your meals will then be a blessing to your body. Just a tip, we don't know what's in our food anymore. Love you all. Stay alert, stay alive. Alright, but let me tell you, we do know what some of the things are in our food. Like, I want everyone, before you eat anything, I want you to look at the back of the label. And you'll see high fructose corn syrup. High fructose syrup. Any high amount of anything is probably not good for you. Especially if it's like an extreme amount of sugar. Seems to me before we had fructose and everything, we didn't have all this diabetes. I don't know. It might not be rocket science. Huh. So, please, before you eat anything, I personally am going to try to stay away from that. I'm very sad that I'm going to have to try to find some retro Coke, to drink, because I'm trying to stay away from all that stuff. Uh-oh, why is it processing? What is that? Uh-oh. Oh, I guess it is still going. Something was processing. That's strange. Alrighty then. I thought I lost you guys. Alright, but I would check everything. Alright? Be safe out there. Check it all, but high fruit and the corn syrup, isn't that corn that GMO? Almost everything is GMO. It makes its own insecticide. Isn't that great? So is the insecticide in the corn syrup? Is it like concentrated in there? I would like the makers of that to comment on that. My goodness. So, heads up, I even saw it in Vienna sausage or something type of stuff, you know? Just look for high fructose as a binder. Look for high fructose for... Look in everything. If you can avoid it, kudos to you, because I think it's better not to eat that. What do you think? Wow. Alrighty then, take care. I'll see you again on the flip side. Be safe and stay tuned. I got some interesting videos.
On the morning of May 14th, 1988, Amaury Riviera, a young man from Puerto Rico, photographed a giant disk, followed and circled by 2 jet interceptors. What makes the sensational pictures even more interesting is Riviera's claim that he had contact with the occupants of this UFO.
Hello, my name is Amaury Rivera. I live in Puerto Rico, and back in 1988, I was working in a nightclub, and there was a musical group there. One of my cousins wanted me to photograph the musical group, and she loaned me a camera with some film. On my way back home, I encountered 2 small beings, 2 small strange men, which I didn't think were men from outer space. And they took me somewhere where there were other people besides myself, other human people, like from Puerto Rico, I guess. From here, another human being showed up. He claimed to be from a distant planet. He was dressed in black. He had a dark skin, but he was not a Negro. He had a long black hair up to the shoulders, and he spoke to us with the mouth, verbally, and no telepathic speaking. He showed us various projections, which looked very real, the projections, and he informed us about a whole bunch of things that are even still incredible to me. Then they returned me to...
What did this holographic projection show?
The holographs were mainly, the first one that I can remember was like a short trip through space. We saw where he came from, where he's said to be from. We saw his people, we saw the houses that they use. And the second one was about a meteor or rock falling to Earth in the near future, which is going to cause a lot of havoc in the world. This would fall, it's going to fall in very near the Caribbean, Puerto Rico, and those other small islands, but it's going to affect the whole world, not just Puerto Rico. The last one is that they projected was showing us how there was only going to be one government on the planet Earth. They'll be living on some sort of artificial island that's going to be floating in the middle of a dark, black, dirty sea. And then this man returned me to my car again and left me somewhere different from where the whole ordeal had started. Apparently, they took me with car and all. After this, at this given time, I heard some jets in the sky, and I still had my cousin's camera, and I took the pictures, 4 of which I'm making public nowadays.
So the jets followed the UFO?
Yes, it was. They seemed to be surveilling it. I only got to capture just one of the jets in the photograph, but there were 3 of them. Or maybe I got in one of the photos one, and in the second or third I got one of the other ones, because they would go around it very far away, and while this one was closer, and turn, very far, very far. And by the time this one was coming back, another one was turning over there. There was always one or the other close to the object, to the UFO.
Jürgen Martin has carefully investigated this case.
Rivera's case to me, is a very special one and a very important one, because in Amaury's case, he was abducted and he was taken away by aliens one of them was human-like and two small creatures that they explained to him were some type of genetical or biological organic android that they made to do some chores outside so they don't have to risk themselves in our environment. That's what they explained to him, the so-called human alien that he saw in the craft. And it's important also because of the evidences that he has on the case, because when he was released, he had a camera with him, and he was able to take pictures of the object that apparently had abducted him, the craft, flying saucer type, and also some jet fighters from the United States, excuse me, F-14 again. In most of these cases in the island, F-14s are involved with these situations of chasing and harassment and checking on these objects when they are seen in the different areas of the island. And he was able to get them in those pictures together. So this clearly, when you see those photographs, it's obvious that the government has been lying for many years, because there's the UFO there, and there's also the jet fighters dealing with the situation, which they denied for more than 40 years. It's there.
Were you able to locate any other witnesses?
That's what I was going to explain at this moment, Michael. The Amoris case is also very important because I have several people who apparently had been contacted by the same alien that abducted Amori and the small ones that were with him in a separate fashion. They have nothing to do with Amori's incident. This being, this human-like alien, is contacting people all around the area of the southwest of Puerto Rico. I have people from the town of Yauco who seem to have been contacted by this man. I have this fisherman, Andres Maldonado, who I got in contact with Amori because he told me several things Amori had told no one before, only I knew them, about the name of the alien and all the details that he was using to check on the people who really may have been in contact with the same being the night he was abducted, because there were about 14 other people there in the craft that night. And when Maldonado told me all this information that he couldn't know because he was not involved with the Morris case, I got them together. And at this moment I have about 3 different people who seem to have been in contact with the same alien. So they are doing something, and they are getting in contact with more and more people and preparing people for something. And this is very important because all this corroborates Amori's incident also.